It is morning, ladies and gentlemen. The sun is singing, the birds are shining, and today I have a Fisher Cube. Now, it's a mishmash of Fisher Cube pieces that are finished and rounded off and cool and all that, and some that are not as nicely finished. And I thought of a really cool puzzle that I could build with this Fisher Cube. Now, I've made plenty of house cubes on my channel. I made one in my last video, so I'm sure you guys are kind of sick of them. But I wanted to do one last iteration of the house cube that I haven't given a try yet. So I wanted to take all of these pieces and build a regular 3x3 house cube, but with a bit of a twist. I wanted to make a bandage cube similar to the Methods bandage cube, but in the shape of a house cube. And I'm probably going to work with Oliver to get some proper house cube stickers for that puzzle. So it shouldn't be that difficult. It's just basically a piece swap and then bandage mod. So let's get started. So as I said before, this modification was going to be pretty easy. All it was going to be was swapping pieces between a Fisher Cube and a regular 3x3, and then modifying that resulting house cube just like a regular 3x3. So I started off by looking over the puzzle, just making sure I had enough pieces to actually make a proper house cube. And I did, so I got the drill out and then I loosened up one of the faces and then I pulled some of the pieces out. I swapped pieces between part of a 3x3 and the Fisher Cube, and I ended up with a pretty convincing house cube. After this was done, everything was looking pretty nice, so it was time to mark out all of the areas that I had to glue up. This actually helped with a handy template that I found online. And then after that was done, I glued up all of the pieces between the lines that I'd marked out. In order to get the puzzle apart, I was going to have to drill a couple of holes in the center caps because I wasn't going to be able to prise off the pieces since they were glued together. After I did that, I disassembled the puzzle and now it was time to finish off each of the pieces. I started by getting some epoxy sculpt out and I pressed it between each of the pieces, just filling all of the gaps. The great thing about bandage mods is that they are quite possibly the easiest modifications to do. They don't require that much materials and they are very easy to build. All you have to do is fill the gaps between pieces and then sand them all nice and flat. But anyways, back to the build. All the pieces had been left to cure overnight, so now it was time to sand them until they were all nice and flat. One of the problems I have with this puzzle is that I didn't give a lot of forethought into which pieces I was gluing together. The problem with this is that I ended up with a centerpiece connected to an edge piece where the tops of them didn't line up. Now the reason this was a problem is not because it looked weird, but because I couldn't sand it properly, and it was kind of okay. It took probably the majority of the time sanding to fix. I think I got through it alright, but next time I make one of these puzzles, I'm definitely not going to be doing that again. Another really cool thing about bandage pieces is that you can use the unmodified pieces as a point of reference so that you don't sand too far down. This is a technique that I use whenever I sand bandage pieces, and it works pretty well for me, so it'll probably work just the same for you. After I'd finished sanding each of the pieces, I rubbed them down with some Scotch-Brite, which just kind of rounds over all of the sharp edges and makes everything look nice. Now that all the pieces were completed, I reassembled the house cube and it was looking fantastic. I really loved the finish on the pieces and I couldn't wait to see it stick it up, but first I had to paint it. So I took it over to my painting area, which is just a piece of cardboard on top of a stool, and I painted it black. After I finished painting it, I got the stickers on it, and I was a little rushed to finish this puzzle in one day, so I got the stickers on 3 faces. As you can see here, the other faces are not stickered, but that's no problem. I'll get them stickered shortly. I think I'm going to go with a 7-color scheme on this puzzle, which is going to be a little unique, but I think I can make it work. Admittedly, this puzzle looks pretty intimidating, especially for me, but I still think I'm going to give a try at solving it like a Methods bandage cube. On a side note, if you want to learn how to solve a Methods bandage cube, then make sure to check out RedKB's tutorial-ish video on the Methods bandage cube. I actually sent the one that I made in my previous video series to him, and he actually worked out how to solve it, which I think is really cool. So if you want to see that video, I'm going to put a link to that in the description below. If you like this video, then make sure to like it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.